Okay, so without further ado, let me get started then. Okay, what if we could show you how to earn 5,000 euros cash, 1,000 euros a month passive income, and qualify for a BMW 3 Series or similar without selling, with very low risk, all within 90 days? Would you be interested? Most people would be, of course, why not? But then it begs the question, what does it involve and how difficult is it? Well, first of all, if this was difficult, I don't think anybody would be interested or doing anything like this, because let's be honest, we work hard enough as it is and we don't want to add any more to our plate. So you'll be pleased to know that we work smarter rather than harder. And what I'm going to show you tonight is actually, there's 5 reasons why this is the smartest business opportunity, and I believe the best opportunity out there, especially for 2019. I personally started in network marketing in 1998, so 20 years ago, and I've been with quite a few companies, and I've done very well with a lot of them. But what I will say is that a lot of them seem to have flaws, for want of a better expression. And the problem is that you only find that out once you get into the business. And over the 20 years, I've learned to look for certain things, and now I know what to avoid. And what we've got with this opportunity is basically all the strong points without any of the flaws. So let me start with the question: why do people join business opportunities in the first place? Well, you won't be surprised to learn that there's a number of reasons, but obviously the main one is people want to make more money. Then there's also those who want financial freedom. In other words, people who want to be free to not work and just to enjoy lifestyle. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's people who want more time because they might be working for an overbearing boss, or they might be traveling long distances and might not spend much time with the family. And then there's those who want their own business. Some people want to get into personal development. People want to help others, meet new people, plan for retirement, of course, leave a legacy. Okay, there's all sorts of reasons out there. But you'll be surprised, or rather not surprised, to realize that there's only 2 main reasons, and that is more money and more time. And there are 2 types of people that you're going to come across that are motivated to do this. First of all, you've got those that want to move away from pain. And what I mean by pain is things like low income, debt, misery, insecurity, hardship, all the things that come with financial difficulties. And then you've got the other type who want to move towards pleasure. In other words, freedom, wealth, happiness, peace of mind, an easier life. Okay? And that's it. This is called motivation. People just want to get away from unpleasant experiences and move towards pleasant experiences. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Some people are motivated through desperation, and some people are motivated through inspiration. Simple as that. So the question is, which one do you think is more powerful? One of these is 10 times more motivating. Can you guess which one it is? Is it desperation or inspiration? No prizes for guessing, but people are more inclined to get away from painful, unpleasant experiences like debt and financial difficulties than they are to move towards something more pleasant or a better standard of living. And to illustrate that, let me give you an example. If you were told that you could have an extra 500 a month coming in if you did a certain task, would you do it? Maybe, maybe not, depending on the task. However, if you were told 500 a month would be taken out of your income if you didn't do the said task, would you do it? Probably, of course, why not? I mean, who wants to lose money? And the point here is that we're more inclined to do things to prevent ourselves losing money than we are to go out there and make money. And even though they say money doesn't buy happiness, which I don't believe, I think it does actually make you very happy, okay? But at least it gets rid of all that pain and misery. Would you agree? Yeah, of course. So the question then is, how much money do we need to be happy? Well, you'll be surprised to find that it's not as much as you think, because there was an interesting study done on this 10 years ago, but I'm not going to go into the study. I'm just going to give you the details, okay? So in the UK, the average income right now is £28,000 a year, personal income that is. I don't know what it is around the world, but I'm just going to give you this as an example. And obviously 90% of that goes on expenses, things like mortgage, rent, car costs, bills, utilities, shopping, credit card debt, etc., and all sorts of things. And only 10% of it that's left over is what we call disposable income. In other words, money that we spend on leisure activities, things that we enjoy doing. And it's only £233 a month. If you work that out, that's £53 a week. And that's nothing, honestly. £53 a week is what we spend on our leisure activities, and that includes going to the movies, going out for meals, and even going on holiday or vacation. And that's probably why so many people rely on credit cards and why there's so many people in debt, millions of people in debt. I read somewhere that the average debt in the UK, unsecured debt, credit card debt, is about 8,000. I won't be surprised if there's people out there with much more than that. Okay, so that's basically what we spend most of our money on. So the question then is, what can we do about it? Is there something we can do about that disposable income? Well, what if we could increase it somehow? Let's say we were to just increase it by another 10%. Yeah, that's another £233 a month. What difference does that make? Well, quite simply, it's pretty much double your lifestyle. Okay, now you can have twice as much fun because it's the disposable income that we spend money. That's the money that we spend. We don't actually need to pay more for our mortgage or our bills or our car. We just want more money to have a better lifestyle or enjoy more freedom. What if it's £500 or even £1,000 a month? How much of a difference would that make? For most people, that is life-changing. I mean, you can get a better car, you can go on more holidays, better holidays, you can spend more time with your family, whatever it is. There's a lot more you can do, and it's only £1,000 a month, okay? And that's really what people want. They just want a little bit more income so they don't have to worry about debt, and they've just got a nice, stress-free lifestyle. In fact, it doesn't take that much. The study found that 92% of people would be more than happy to have an extra £200 to £1,000 a month coming in. That's it. It's not 50,000, it's not £500,000, it's not 10 million, it's just anything between £200 to £1,000 a month extra coming in, and that would make them happy. The problem is nobody really knows what to do about it or how to go about it. Well, that's where we come in. What if we could show you how to do that? Well, we can. And this is why we're talking about this business opportunity being the ideal opportunity for you. And there's 5 reasons for that. So let's start with reason 1, the product. Okay. There's a saying that, sorry, let me start again. I've obviously changed this presentation, so you'll have to forgive me. Our product is based around helping people save money. That's it, on things that they might spend regularly, okay? And there's a saying that if you have a product that is worth more to the customer than what they pay for, than what it costs them, you won't need to sell it. They'll be more than willing to buy it from you. And that's exactly what we're offering. So let me give you an example of what our product does. Or it's a number of products, but let me give you an example. First of all, we have a customizable website that allows you to promote your own business, okay? Secondly, you can also, or will be able to, use our exclusive Prime store once it becomes live in February, where you'll be able to save a significant amount of money compared to what you normally do when you shop online. Third, and this is just for the UK at the moment, we have a cashback Visa card, which means you'll be able to get cashback when you go shopping onto your Visa card, use the Visa card, and the money gets paid back into the card itself. And finally, you'll also be able to save on costs. So there's no actual hidden costs or fees that we charge when we allow you to use the portal. So let me start with the advertising as an example. Traditionally, most businesses advertise using the normal channels, such as TV, radio, and I think most of them probably use printed material. But now more and more people are going online because that's where it's all heading. The problem is it can be expensive, and most small businesses don't know how to go about it. So what we're offering is an opportunity where you can use our service. You can upload your profile image and background. You've got a website, it's fine, it still works, but we're giving you more exposure, and you put all your contact details in, obviously opening times. If you don't have a website, then this is perfect. And you'll also be able to use the social media links. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Now you'll be able to do unlimited advertising and run campaigns and marketing adverts on your products and services to people via social media, whatever channel you choose. The brilliant thing is that you'll get feedback as well, and you'll get reviews. So this allows people to leave information or feedback about your product or service. And it's all done as part of the package. And I'm going to come to the cost. I was going to tell you the cost, but just bear with me. You'll also be able to use the Prime Store, as I said, which will be coming in February 2019. And just to give you an example of the sort of products and services we're offering, these are the categories, okay? So let me give you a quick example. Let's say there's a pair of Bluetooth headphones on sale on a famous website. I won't mention the name, okay? €25. We'll probably do it cheaper, say about 10–12%, because we don't charge those fees, okay? But we also offer points. Now, I'm not going to go into the points right now because it's too much information, but basically when you pay your subscription to us, you'll get the equivalent in points, and you'll be able to redeem the points in the actual store. So it is, in this example, you're actually getting these headphones for half the price, okay? Plus, local businesses will be able to also offer their own products and services using our facility. So if you've got a local takeaway, a restaurant or business that wants to run a campaign, they can use our service, but they have to offer some sort of incentive to attract customers. So this is our way of helping small businesses to get out there, get that exposure, and allow them to be creative and offer more to the customer, because it's all about helping people save money, okay? On top of that, in the UK, as I said, we've got a cashback card, which is a Visa card, where you get 3% back. Now, in the UK, and I'm sure in other countries, they do have loyalty cards, but you'll probably find that they only give you 0.5% back. Yet, these loyalty cards are very, very popular. We're getting you 3% back. And just on this card alone, if you're in the UK, you'll probably find it's a significant amount when you see which sort of stores they are. For example, these are the stores that we use. We've got the supermarkets, Asda, Marks and Spencer, Sainsbury's, and Waitrose, and then you've got a load of high street stores as well. And you're getting 3% on all of them. Now, once our subscription goes up and we get more and more customers, that percentage, that 3%, will rise, so it's worth it. But my point is that just for the UK at the moment, this is more than enough just with this card alone. But we are going to be introducing other cards in other countries once we get round to it. We also have a BizzTrek MasterCard where your commissions are paid in. So this is different to the Visa card. This is where we pay your commissions in, and it doesn't matter where you are, in which part of the world, you can still apply for the MasterCard. So the second reason is the cost. It's only €20 a month. So what I showed you with a website and everything, that's all you're paying. And I remember I said that you're getting the equivalent in points, so you're going to get €20 worth of points that you can redeem in the store. So really, it hasn't cost you anything, has it? So going back to that point I made earlier on, if you have a product that's worth more to the customer than what it costs them, you won't need to sell it. We aim to try and get the 2 to 5 times the value that you've paid, €20, back to you on a monthly basis. And if we can do that, everyone will buy this service. Everyone should, because it's worth it. It's not costing them anything. So the reason number 3 is the income. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, okay? We have a unique compensation plan, which we call the Cascading Dynamic Matrix, and it's based on a simple 3x10 matrix, but it has a unique twist to it. Let me explain. In a standard 3x10 matrix, you can only have 3 people directly underneath you. Those 3 can only have 3 each, so you've got 9 on your second level. Those 9 can only have 3 each, so you've got 27 on your third level. And then those obviously can only have 3 each, so it multiplies all the way down 10 levels. So if you were to complete your full matrix, you would end up with around 88,000 people in your team. But in the real life, in the real world, that never happens. Let's be honest, yeah? Okay, even if you get a fraction of it, it's great, believe me. But what tends to happen in these types of matrices is people go way beyond the 10 levels. And it does happen very quickly. This is the great news with us. We pay way beyond those 10 levels. But I'm going to come back to that in a minute. We also have something called the autofill feature, which means that, well, let me give you the example. Let's say you've introduced 3 people, Bob, Sam, and Jane, okay? But you've got 2 others that want to join as well. Where do you place them? Well, naturally, they have to go on level 2. So in this example, one would go on to Bob, the other one would go on Sam, because it has to distribute them evenly. And this is called spillover. So now Bob and Sam is benefiting from your work by you placing people underneath them, okay? Which means they can get paid on them. Now, let's say Bob starts to build a team, and anybody he introduces, any excess will have to spill over onto his second level, okay? And once you've got a bit of a team, you tend to find that some of those people start to build anyway. So let's say in this example, Bob starts to build his team and it starts to go down. And as you can see, it's going down quite quickly. This is actually based on a real life example. That's why I'm showing this, okay? Now, in this case, what happens is if you've got anybody else that's joining the business, whether it's you placing them or people above you placing them into your team, the spillover, then those people are going to spill over under Jane and Sam. And it's going to distribute them evenly because it's fair. And then obviously in this example, let's say Sam starts to build her team, anybody else spilling over would go under Jane. So as Bob and Sam starts to build their team and Jane's getting the spillover, the momentum starts to pick up. And eventually you get to a point where your business starts to grow on its own. But I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I'm going to show you an example of what potentially could happen with a spillover calculator that we have. So let me just quickly show you this. So this is our spillover calculator. And what it's showing you here is that if you introduce 3 people yourself and your team introduce 3 people and you've got 3 people, potentially 1, 2 or 3 people above you that might spill over, then this is what you learn. Now, if you're only introducing 3 yourself and so is your team, then it's a 3 by 3 matrix. So you're only going to get 3, 3, 3 down. And we're only showing this down 5 levels. You're going to get €363 a month passive income. However, if everyone did 4 each, so you do 4, they do 4 each, okay? And you've got one person spilling over, adding spillover to your team, which in this example is a 0.33, which is a fraction of a person, so that doesn't really happen in real life. But let's just go with this because it's mathematics. Now you've got an income of 1,478. That's a huge difference just by introducing one more person to the group, yourself and your team. What if you've got 2 people above you adding spillover? Now it's 0.89 people. What if you've got 3 people? Now it's 1.67. The numbers are not high, but look at the difference in the income. It makes a huge difference. What if you introduce 10 people yourself? Because that's the idea really, to get as many people in, and 10 is our max, what we say. So if you were to introduce 10 and your team only introduced 4, now you're looking at nearly 4,000 a month. Okay, I don't want to go any further than this, but I'm just going to give you one more example. I personally believe that it's possible to introduce 5 people, and so will your team. Okay, and even if you've just got one person above you spilling over, adding spillover, you're still over 4,400 euros a month. So that's a calculator that just works out what the potential earning is just down 5 levels. So we're not going down 10 levels. We're not even going down any further than that, just those 5 levels. But you can download this calculator yourself, play around with it, put your own figures in, see what you come up with. So, in the spillover calculator examples, this is what I've shown you. If your team's introducing 4 members each, and you're introducing 4 each, and you've only got one person above you adding spillover, then your income is 1,478 a month. If you've got 2 people adding spillover, or 3, then those are the figures. But if you've introduced 10 people, yourself, okay, and everyone else is still only introducing 4, then these are the figures. So I'm going to show you these very quickly because later on when this is recorded you can freeze it and look at the figures. But if everyone was to introduce 5 each, and so were you, then these are the figures if you had 1, 2 or 3 people adding spillover. Or if you were to introduce 10 people, then it's these figures, okay? So as I said, download the calculator, play with it and see what happens. Now the interesting thing about the spillover is this is how it works. You might not necessarily get the spillover, but the important thing is if you're building the team, your team's getting spillover from you and other people in your group. But what happened with somebody called Gordon, and I know you're on this call, Gordon, so I'm just quickly mentioning you. Gordon joined us about a month ago, but didn't do anything. He didn't do anything for about 10 days or 11 days. One person got spilled over into his group, and that one person started working. And suddenly Gordon realized he's missed 31 euros of commissions, okay? So he got started. And within about 3 weeks, he's built a team of 200 members. And all he's doing is sharing the videos, sharing this information. He's on Facebook talking to people. That's all he's doing. He's not dragging people to presentations. He's not ringing me, thank God. Okay? He's not having me explain anything. This is all happening simply using the videos and the webinars. But there's not just Gordon, there's other people as well. So then you've got people like Mohammed Ans, who's also flying with this business. I don't want to go into too much detail. Andrew Middleton, Helen Graham, Avtar Singh, who achieved senior leader within 48 hours. Well done, Avtar. We've got different ranks, and some of them are doing it in 24 hours, some of them are doing it in 48 hours. And Ali Mavani in America, who's hit the highest position so far, executive leader. Some of the others that I've just shown you have, Gordon has, Mohammed Ans has as well, but they've done it in 30 days. So this is fantastic results from people. We're still in the pre-launch stage. We haven't got the marketing system in place yet. The Calculate I've just shown you, we've just started to introduce that, so that's going to help this business. So you can see that there's a lot of potential with this business just based on what I've shown you so far. So let me just quickly explain the dynamic generations I mentioned earlier. So as I said, in a 3x10 matrix, a normal 3x10 matrix, you only get paid down 10 levels and then it stops. Ours doesn't work on levels, it works on generations, so it goes much further. And there are the two things that you need to do to qualify to get paid down those generations. The first one is that you have to be paying your monthly subscription. So you're €20 a month. Now I know a lot of people are going for the annual subscriptions, so they've got the full year qualified, but you've got to be qualified, so active, sorry, to qualify. The second criteria is that you have to introduce people, and you get paid down one generation for every person that you introduce. So if you've introduced one, it's one generation, two generations, three generations, and so on and so forth. And the maximum is 10. You only need 10 to get paid down 10 generations. So let me give you an example and explain the difference between generations and levels. So I mentioned Helen earlier. Helen joined us at the beginning, the very first day, and in the first week she introduced 6 people herself. That means she's now qualified to earn down 6 generations, okay? But one of the people that she introduced ended up building a team, and one of those legs went down 18 levels, okay, within the first week. Now, this is not normal. I just want to make that clear. This doesn't happen to everyone. Just this one particular case, it went down that far. So the point I'm trying to make is it can go beyond 10 levels, and it's gone much, much further than that. And I know Gordon's gone past his 10 levels within his first month as well. But the point I'm trying to make here is that normally she would have been cut off at level 10. She wouldn't have got paid. And these red numbers here show you the number of people each person's introduced. So that tells you how many generations they're qualified to earn down. So here's the example I'm going to give you. So the person that joined at level 18, okay, when she paid her €20 subscription, €10 got generated as commissions that were paid out for 10 generations up. And the first person that got paid is the person who introduced her, because she's qualified down 1 generation. The second person to get paid would be somebody who's qualified down 2 generations, meaning they have to have introduced 2 people. So it's not these 2, but this person here who's introduced 3. The third payment would then have to go to somebody who's introduced 3 people, so it's the person above them. Now the fourth payment has to go to somebody who's introduced 4. And as you can see, it's none of those people until it gets to Helen. And Helen's introduced 6, so then she gets paid that 4th payment. What's interesting here is that the people that have been paid are only her first 4 generations, which means she can still earn on a 5th and 6th generation much further down. And this is what I'm trying to say, that this goes much further than just 10 levels. But the interesting question now is, what happens to these people that didn't get paid? Does she still earn on them? Well, of course she does. Just because they only introduce 1 or 2 people themselves, so they might only be qualified to 1, 2, 3 generations, doesn't mean they're not active. They're still paying the subscription, so yes, she gets paid on every single one of them. Now, if she's introduced 10 people, okay, and the 10th generation is level 100 or 200, because there's less and less people introducing 10, there's more and more people introducing 1s, 2s, and 3s and 4s, and I think the average will be 5. But my point here is that if there's very few people introducing 10, and that 10th generation can be 100, maybe even 200 levels deep, and she gets paid on every single one. And that's the power, that's the other power of this business. You've got the spillover and this dynamic generations, and the two seem to compound the power of this business. So the 4th reason then is the car plan. Now, we've got a corporate recognition plan, which I won't go into too much detail, but the first the leaders part, which I've just shown you. So Ali and Mohammed Anson Gordon have hit executive leader already within the first month. The next level up is managers, but then again, it's the same thing: business manager, senior manager, executive manager, and then directors. Now, when you get the director rank, that's where you start to qualify for a car. So to qualify for this 3 Series BMW, you would have to have a minimum of 1,000 members in your team, okay? Which isn't that difficult, considering the thing seems to be driving itself. The momentum's pretty significant already. I mean, Gordon's introduced 200 in just 3-4 weeks. And there's a couple of other criteria, but you then qualify for €300 towards a car of your choice. Ideally, something like a 3 Series or an Audi or a Mercedes, okay? And if you do this in 90 days, you get to business manager, you will not only get the car, you will also, sorry, let me go back a minute, but you'll get €5,000 cash, okay? And €1,000, at least €1,000 a month, monthly income once you hit this criteria. So that's the 90-day game plan. Once you've got that momentum and the thing starts to grow on its own steam, you're going to qualify at some stage for the next level up, which is the equivalent of a 5 Series BMW, €500 towards a car. And for that, you need 5,000 members. And then finally, the ultimate position, which is the i8 or equivalent, similar, €1,000 a month towards a car. And for that, you need 10,000 members. So the final reason. Now, this reason, for me, is probably the most important. And I have to say this, that if you were to stack all the other 4 reasons together on one side and this one on the other side, this one would far outweigh all 4 put together. And that's because it's going to be an automated marketing system, all done through video. That means you won't have to explain anything. You won't have to ring people. You have to take them to presentations. You have to go see them. You know, it will do 90% of the work for you. And we've got a video marketing, a marketing video that explains how this works, but we haven't introduced it yet. So this is all going to happen in the new year, the next 2-3 weeks. So watch that marketing video and you'll get an idea. So just to summarize then, the product at the moment as we have it is, first thing is you can promote your own business, and for €20 you're getting quite a lot for that. You can also use the Prime Store once it's live in February, and you'll be able to shop and save money in there. And you'll be able to promote your own business in there if you want to. And you'll find it easy to sign other businesses up as well to this, because if they want to make money and they want to get more customers, it's quite easy to offer them something like this, especially when you consider it's only €20 a month. You can also earn from the referral program, which has the dynamic generations and the spillover effect, and which I've just demonstrated to you. And then, of course, there's the BizzTrek MasterCard, which is now available globally. So anybody anywhere can have one of these, and your commissions are paid onto that. We pay 100% of that commissions onto that. We've got the cashback card for the UK. So if you've got people in the UK and you're abroad, get them involved. This alone is worth it. Believe me, this is more than the €20 a month. And then you've also got the car plan that people can qualify for. And finally, the video marketing system that I said will be coming in the new year, will do most of the work for you. And if you want to watch the video, just go to this website, marketingvid.biztrek.net. That is where the video that explains how the marketing system is going to work. Believe me, it's worth watching, because once you understand how it works, you'll see why this business is going to go viral very quickly. So if you want to get involved, there's 2 ways to do it. You either pay monthly, you're paying €20 a month. Now, we're doing this in pre-launch, but after launch in February, it's going to go to €25 a month. So if you join now, it's €20 for life, okay? And you'll get the €20 worth of points as well, so you can use that in the store. And then if you go for the annual subscription, then you're getting 12 months for the price of 11. So you're saving €20 there, plus you're saving your €5 a month. So you're actually saving €80. And you'll get all the points at once. So you get €240 worth of points all at once, which you can use in the store. Plus, if somebody signs you up onto a annual subscription, they're going to get €20, but that finishes on the 3rd of January. So if you're signing anybody up, get them on the annual subscription, you'll get €20, plus you'll get the €1 a month for the next 12 months, and you'll get the €10, you'll get a bonus of €10 voucher as well, and they remain active for 12 months. So that's just in the pre-launch phase. And one last thing is that we have this leadership retreat going to Dubai, which is in about 4 weeks, 4 weeks time, where we will pay for a return flight from anywhere in the world, any airport in the world, to Dubai and back, and then also the Dubai transfer, airport transfer. We'll be staying in a 5-star hotel, 4 days and 3 nights, and we'll also be doing the desert safari, and there will be a leadership dinner and a chance to socialize and meet. And finally, a bit of sightseeing and shopping, which is great, you know, so make sure you bring enough money. And to qualify for that, all you need to do is sign up, all you need to do is introduce 10 annual subscriptions or 10 Gold Prime members personally by the 15th. So you've only got 2 weeks really to do it, midnight. And you've also got to have your own annual subscription as well. Existing members can upgrade, so if you've got a few people who pay monthly, no problem, they can upgrade, so that adds to it.